are going to be really obvious. And there's also going to be that you didn't know. Some other things that you didn't know were a problem. And of course, this is also helpful if you're thinking about buying the game, but you keep getting, mixed reviews on it and everything. So let's get into everything wrong with MW2. Starting first, I'm sure you've already noticed it because it is pretty fucking terrible, and that is the menu. I mean, look at this. If I want to, go to multiplayer, where is that on here? Let me try backing out a little bit more. Let me back out again. So, I get popped up with this immediately. This bullshit right here. It just fucking takes the whole screen. It is really obnoxious. Nobody ever reads these. Okay, if you happen to be watching Infinity Ward, remove this shit. It's unfucking necessary. Okay? If you wanted to know what menu we wanted from Call of Duty, all you have to do is look at the original Modern Warfare 2, the much better Infinity Ward studio. By the way, is, Respawn Entertainment, the guys who made Titanfall and Apex Legends, yeah, they did the original MW2. Not this menu. Ops 1 had a really fantastic menu. It was very simple. They had a very strict, perk system and everything, but it was actually fairly well balanced overall because of that. Only a few standing outliers. But point being, this menu, terrible. But there's no division here, It's just everything on your fucking screen all at once. Now, the other problem with this shit popping up on your screen is with every fucking update, there is a grace period where this does not work properly. It doesn't matter if you press X, it doesn't matter if you scroll down, it doesn't matter if you scroll up, it won't work correctly. It'll just lock you in, and you'll have to back out and restart the entire game just to get past the menu screen. Just to get past this crap that we never gave a fuck about. Okay? Some of us have been playing Call of Duty for a very long time. In fact, some of us remember the OG original Call of Duty, the Call of Duty that was not Call of Duty, that was done by a studio that used to work for EA before being picked up by Microsoft, before Activision, and that just so happens to be Medal of Honor. Yes, I still own a fucking copy of Medal. I'm a 90s child. Okay. In case you didn't know, Infinity Ward and Activision, all that, yeah. The original Infinity Ward, before they were making Call of Duty, was making Medal of Honor. Some of us are still around. We don't need a pop-up on our screen that explains what a gun to us is. We also don't need a pop-up that explains us to, different changes, because we've played so many first-person shooters, all the way from back from fucking, Doom, the father of first-person shooters, to now, that we can kind of figure out what a weapon is, and whether or not we can customize it, and how we can fucking customize it. And it's fucking, it's still the first season, but it's been 2, 3, 4 months now, and it's been so many updates now. Every fucking update, this is the very first thing I see loading into the game. What do you think we are? Fucking, clueless, most of your players on this game have been playing for at least 2 months now. Okay? Most of your players already have like fucking 3 gold guns now. That's just the reality of that one. Which, the other problem with this menu is, this is multiplayer and DMZ and all that. And then you have to go into the game mode that you want and everything, and then you have to start the match, and it's just like, you have so much extra shit that if I want to just start Shoot House, I can't just press X and already be started. If I want to send invites to friends, it's like fucking 3 button clicks now. It used to be I would just hit triangle and all my friends would pop up and I fucking invite. Now I have to press start. Now I have to scroll down through this wonderful fucking menu that nobody likes to go over to social. I have to make sure that I am in party and friends. Sometimes it'll spawn me into recent. And here's the other thing is if I want to send somebody a friend request, or if I want to send somebody a message, or if I want to talk to a recent player, I have to scroll on over. I can't just hit triangle and then hit 1. I gotta go through 2 fucking menus now. And then on top of it, not only do we have this crossbar on the top, which fine, whatever, crossbar on the top, that's nothing new. But then we have this side menu. What the fuck is this menu for? What is this menu? And the other thing too with this menu is, I'm sure you also noticed it, is challenges. To look at my challenges, I have to go through all these fucking menus. This is supposed to be a quick menu? You think this is a quick menu? This is just a menu that does the same thing that the other fucking menus do. Layer of menus. Call of Duty is literally, this particular Call of Duty, Activision and Infinity Ward are apparently so fucking stupid that they think we want a menu within a menu within a menu. Yo dog, I heard you like menus. Here's some more fucking menus. Okay. Then, the other thing, since we're on, the idea, the execution, the fact that you can get a lot of things free from it is really good. I like this idea of you being scroll and get what you want, skipping the crap you don't want. That was a really good execution. The only problem is the new Battle Pass tokens never fucking work. So when you unlock them, you have to disband your party. So if you're with a friend that you're playing with, well, fuck friendships apparently. Leave the game, and then come back and hope it loads right. And then, try to rejoin and go through 6 fucking menus just to rejoin your friend, just to use your Battle Pass. The tokens never stack right and work right. If you unlock 5 tokens from, you play a bunch of matches, and you come back to this screen, your tokens will still say 0. They won't let you, log anything. You have to fucking restart the game just to do that. Going into yet another menu, which, here's the other thing is, we got blueprints, operators, identity, what the fuck is this? Trending, okay, and most popular, and featured. Let me explain to you why this is wrong and incorrect, because somewhere down the line somebody's going to be confused. So, featured. These are things that stand out. These are things that are exclusive to Call of Duty that most shooters don't have. Or, that Call of Duty is really, really known for. Like having a marijuana skin and, some guy in the bushes pitching a tent and, having some fucking pharaoh costume shit. and, acid trip nonsense. Okay, fine, whatever. Most popular. So what you're saying is all these packs are trending, right? People are engaging with them and they want them and they like them for some fucking reason. And then we have trending. So you're saying these here are, your most popular thing? We couldn't take these four and put them together. Because trending and popular are the same fucking thing. Clean the fucking menu up. Clean the UI up. Quit. Explain the difference to me between trending and most popular. Actually explain to me most popular and popular. Popular is already fucking subjective. When you put the word most in front of it, it doesn't mean anything. When you put the word least in front of it, then it means something. Then we have operators and identity, which, fine, we had that before. Blueprints, fine, we had that before. Okay, but putting this unnecessary crap, here's the other thing is, when I was on Black Ops, I could scroll through about 6 to 8 in each category. And we had about 4 categories. On MWR, on Modern Warfare 1, not the original, I could scroll through 10 in each category. Modern Warfare was a little tricky because you kind of had to, get lucky if you didn't buy a lot of skins. If you bought like everything like I did, you just spent an unreasonable amount of money. You didn't have to scroll through very much. But here, on Black Ops 1, you could actually go to your operators, click on the operator, and actually, bring up exactly what you want and look at things that you don't have for that particular operator. Which, thank God, they back, because nobody wants to go through this shit. Especially when it's only 4 and doesn't show you all of them. The point being is, in both cases, they had it better and more effective. We could see more than 4 at a time. Then there's the topic of skins themselves. Let's look at this. That's not fucking Master Chief in a black skin. Yet you couldn't come up with anything a little more original. If you're gonna make it a reference, then make it an actual reference that people give a shit about. For God's sakes, you guys are owned by Microsoft now. So why don't you reach out to Microsoft and go, hey, we would really like to put Master Chief in our game because we think he's cool. And here's the other thing. I own an Xbox Series S and a PS4 just so I can play Halo and Morrowind. I own a whole nother fucking console just to play 2 games. If you just made it actual Master Chief, I would probably actually buy this. And then here's this other skin. I can't tell the difference between this skin and like 6 of the default skins. The only difference is his helmet happens to have a fucking camera on his head. That's about it. Like, who is this guy? Oh, well, click the wrong button again because the UI is so great. And then, this other thing too is it's like, why are these 4 and these 3? Then, the other thing is, no one in their goddamn right mind is going to buy 1 gun and 3 stickers, even for, well, actually, that's a lot of money. 1,000 COD points is about $10. You think one gun, a sticker I'm never going to use because this is, you know, and these two things are worth $10. If I eat a fucking steak dinner, you know, I decide to make myself a steak, and, you know, maybe I'll do some rice or some broccoli or, you know, mashed potatoes, home scratch on the side, and, you know, then I'll do, like, onion rings or sauteed onions, or, you know, and then I'll have, like, a beer with it, and fucking all that. You know how much my fucking dinner would cost? You know, because I bulk buy. You know, when I divide things up, I buy like a steak package for like $40 and it has like 8 steaks in it. Well, I don't know, $10. You know, to eat a fucking steak dinner with a nice beer and nice sides to go with it and a fucking salad and soup and shit, it costs as much as this. You are fucking mentally insane if you think I'm gonna pay $10 for that. You are insane if you think I'm gonna pay $8 for a single weapon. Maybe somebody out there, and this is really stretching it, gives a flying fuck about vehicle skins. But considering I've been in the mw2 truck and the pink tank and, you know, with very few exceptions, nobody gives a fuck about vehicle skins. Unless it's a really, really cool or very troll or very cringe skin, nobody gives a shit. If I saw this rolling down the whole life, I would probably make fun of that person. And here's the other thing, it's under the top, you know, it's so below, you know, extraordinary. It's just so rich, there's no way I would pay money for this. And here's the other thing, I don't know if anybody's been paying attention or not, this is a reused image. This is reused from Black Ops. This is, you know, what was that? And I paid money for it too, by the way. You know, it was for the XM4. You had like a pink and blue tie-dye XM4. You got a pistol. You got this. You got a sticker. You know, you got 2 weapons. And it was, by the way, it was 1,200 COD points. It was actually kind of worth it, you know, because I wanted my XM4 to look stylish. You know, it was 2 weapons, 2 emblems, 2 stickers, and a vehicle skin for the boat, which was extraordinarily rare, and also included a skin for, what was his face? For Frank Woods. And it was like Miami something, it was like, I don't remember. But this is literally, this right here is literally ripped from that bundle. It was originally a sticker, but I guess they decided to make it a fucking thing that sits on your gun. The other thing, I can't even remember what the fuck, because they just, you know, it's just all crap. And the other thing too is, you know, soccer players. Now, it's nice for you to reach out for a particular fan base, but it's so oddly niche and specific. There are more furries playing Call of Duty than there are soccer players playing Call of Duty, or soccer fans playing Call of Duty. Fine. Whatever. But then I scroll over and I see Tactical Human 2.0. You know, when I had bought Igor's nightlife skin, he was wearing a leather coat and nice shades and nice jeans and nice boots. Like something that you would maybe go on a date to a bar with, or you'd maybe even go to a club with. you know, or you would just go journey around downtown with. Okay, it was Yegor's nightlife skin. It was called a nightlife skin because that was what he wore in his fucking nightlife. It actually made sense. You know, it was a reasonable thing. This skin is called Tactical Human 2.0, which I want to point out in MWR we have Tactical Human 2.0 and 3.0 already, but I'm guessing this game is ignoring that. But there is nothing fucking tactical about a gold coat. There is not a single fucking thing tactical about that at all. If you had called this, you know, a nightlife skin, if you had called this the glamorous skin, if you had called this the club skin, if you had called this the hustle bundle, you know, you even call it the hustle skin, by the way. You know, but don't call it fucking Tactical Human 2.0. Here's the other thing for all of my adult viewers. You know what this skin actually looks like to me? This looks like the same fucking skin. This looks like the same outfit. Let's see. That a character wears in the adult. Oh, I don't want to specify that clearly enough. The erotic adult game that eerily, I'm really suspicious that the people who have the Bill Cosby suite at Infinity Ward and at World of Warcraft probably play. And I'm not going to name the name of that game. You know, because here's the thing is, I'm not going to name the name of that game because there might be a younger viewer watching this later. But I do have that game on my phone. And it's literally a chick in a blue jumpsuit with, you know, a brownish, goldish colored coat, a vest, a protective vest, and black hair. With this, you know, sort of, we'll call it a light tan. Yeah, anyways. Aside from stealing or ripping off porn characters, the other thing Call of Duty has also gotten in trouble for was straight up stealing art from an it was for a doggo character and everything. For the love of God, if you're going to steal an artist's work, don't. Just don't. Pay them money. Use the likeness. If you tell an artist, hey, I'm a AAA title that almost everyone plays, and we want to use your art in our video game, and we'll even pay you a small sum, or if they just even ask permission, because here's the thing, most artists would see that as a business opportunity, and would be like, yeah, you can use my art in your game, as long as you credit me in the description. you know, most artists are pretty down to earth and pretty cool people. Some of them are also Call of Duty fans. This particular person, this Japanese artist, was actually a Call of Duty fan. That's why he was able to discover that his art was stolen and being offered on sale in a Call of Duty game. Of course, he sued them and they had to apologize for remove it. Because it's pretty fucking shitty to just, you know, ignore and not even acknowledge the artist. Now, on the other thing of skins, I should bring this up. Actually, I'm going to go into... Oh my god. Where is it? I guess I have to fucking click on something. And it's to the point where, you know, there's no way you're not going to play with it, but it comes up all the fucking time. This character you struggle to see. If you look for her pants, you can see her. Because everything from the torso up you can't see when they're running around a map. She blends right in. Let's see if I can find the other. This character, his other skin, his LA, which, the female version, and there's even a version for this, is literally black with red text. You can't see it at all. It's literally a competition skin, banned from fucking competition, because it's an unfair advantage, because you check the map and nobody can fucking see you. Zeus has a black skin that you absolutely cannot see. Despite the gold highlights, you cannot see it. You won't be able to see him if he's sitting in a corner somewhere. This skin is very hard to see. The moment somebody wears this skin and crouches, they're fucking invisible. It doesn't matter how brightly lit the map is. Okay. Same thing, the moment he crouches, you can't fucking see him. And here's the other really frustrating thing, is we had mw2, okay, very obviously, very clearly, that is Kruger. Why didn't you just name him Kruger? It's clearly Kruger. You meant it to be Kruger. This is the same exact Kruger would wear. That's like how you have, let's see, Choi here. This is clearly supposed to be the Irish bloke that was in MW. Okay? And how in the motherfuck are you going to have a Call of Duty game with operator skins, yet you can't play any of the main cast? You can't play Farah? Really? You can't play Price, Captain Price, one of the most famous fucking characters in Modern Warfare. You can't play Ghost. And you can't even play Soap? And I don't know who this guy is, but who cares? You have to buy a special bundle to play these guys. I already bought the fucking game. And you want me to pay an extra $20 to use the main characters that I play in the campaign. And then here's another problem. Something I'm going to point out. Somebody's going to get offended. But, I get you had to include one. But for the love of God, quit making token black characters. Make an actual black character who actually looks good, who you actually give a shit about. Don't just be like, oh, black people, football, bright clothing, fancy sunglasses. Just actually make a black character. I don't know why Call of Duty will turn around and have a character that's really well done and everything. Like when Ice Cube voiced a character in Black Ops, and it was so good, and Ice Cube's actually a really good actor, that you didn't even notice that was Ice Cube. That whole Snoop Dogg, speaking of, did a voice in Call of Duty Ghosts. I just want to mention that real quick. That's irrelevant to the point, but Hutch was in MW and is a fairly well done character with some lore and story and everything, and then we'll turn around and just do some fucking token character. And on the topic of Luna, since we're on the topic of it, is she's also clearly meant to be the other Asian character from MWR. But, here she's done really well. And they even gave her the name, kind of pops out. Especially if you're a Has Been Hotel fan. But in the other game, if you look at her skin, you know, I forget what they named her in that game. It's just really generic. It's a very much a token character skin. Okay, then you look at like Treyarch, and Treyarch turns around, does a character, does a skin or anything, and if you go on Black Ops 1, people are still wearing different skins of that character. You know, as old as that game is, you know, they had some ridiculous fun skins, like for Baker, they had one that really looked like strong woman Heather Swanson. You know, bless his heart. Too bad he passed away of, you know, a heart attack. But not really surprised that Randy Savage passed away of a heart attack, by the way. But they have a skin that looks just like Randy Savage. Okay? And then, you know, then they have a Lao character, which was something unique. It was appropriate for the time period. It made sense. You know, they had a Lao character, and so well done that everybody's wearing his skin. He sounds mean. He sounds irritated. He sounds pissed off. He's supposed to be a villain. He does that really well. The skin looks fucking awesome. I wear it all the fucking time. He has one where he's like a flaming fucking skeleton. Okay, and that was supposed to tie in with Vanguard. If you pre-order Vanguard, you got that skin for free. You know, and his name too was something like Snake or something like that. I can't remember what. just all around awesome skin. He had one that was like a trench warfare skin. It's like a leather coat and then like the gas mask helmet. It was very clearly a reference to Call of Duty World War II, because a lot of people would wear that trench coat and would wear that same Russian gas mask. You know, that was exactly the skin. Then we turn around and we just get this, you know, fucking token character crap. And speaking of, by the way, what the fuck did they do to Gaz? Like, Gaz had at least one or two good skins. He's a main character, but we almost don't even see him in the campaign at all. Like, he just fucking disappears off the face of the earth. And then on top of it, then he's got just like the same skin as everybody else. This is like everybody's SeaWorld skin. They're gonna go see Shamu. Okay. And then we went from a guy in a fucking red samurai mask with a dog cowl and Krampus, and you know, two different forms of Krampus, by the way. MW2 and Treyarch had their own different versions of Krampus, and even original, you know, mainstay characters like Frank Woods with a Santa hat and an ugly, you know, Christmas sweater, to whoever the fuck this guy is. This was our Christmas skin this year. It just looks like some homeless man with a fucking Santa hat. Nobody gives a shit about this guy. The moment this game... You notice I didn't buy that skin, by the way, right? Just want to point that. I want to make sure you notice, because I want this skin. I've maybe seen this skin one or two times ever. Not a very popular skin. Just, it's not. I think I accidentally favored it, which is terrible. Then we get in weapons, and oh boy, are there some problems with the weapons. Let's start off with the shotguns, because the shotguns you do. The 725, you know, the gun that towards the end of Modern Warfare, in the beginning, was really overpowered, and it was, you know, they had problems with it. It was hard to get it to work right in a way that wouldn't break the game or be really unfair. They had a version of this gun that you can go play on MWR that's usable, but it's not unfair. It's still annoying to run into, but it was reasonable. This version is unusable. They nerfed how long it takes to reload. They nerfed how long it takes to aim down sights. It's like, you can't really get consistent hip fire kills with this. Like, you start in the match with and that's it. You're not going to go on any streaks with this. I have this guy in gold. That's just because I'm a decent player. Okay, and I will get into the problem with gold here. The Benelli, a little disappointing that we didn't have it in Modern Warfare. But okay, we got it now. And it's like, boy, this thing is over fucking powered. It's semi-auto, of course, it should be. But if you want consistent one-hit kills, this is the gun with you. And on top of it, this is a gun that gives you Dragon's Breath, so if you want to hit fire with it a lot, this is the gun to do it. But if you turn around and put on Explosive Slug, this thing turns into a fucking sniper rifle. You can hit people across the map just with this gun as is. You could hit people with this gun like this. Okay? This is as close as we get to a no stock option, by the way. You can see I made it as small as possible. Still hit people. Faster fire rate and still hit people. Make this gun as absolutely fast as possible. Hit people across the map. This is a quick scoping sniper rifle in disguise. They're definitely better attachments, but still. The other shotgun that's super abusable is the Bryson. What's the same problem with it? Oh, just, Explosive Slug. And why Explosive Slug, you might be wondering. Well, it's pretty simple. You see, when you use a regular slug, there's bullet drop, and there's, lots of velocity, and there's a decrease in damage when you hit somebody at very long range. The Explosive Slug, when you hit somebody, it explodes. So, any loss of velocity or decrease in damage at range is mitigated by a second form of damage. If they don't have EOD on, they are fucking toast. And here's the thing is, most players who are creeping around the sides of the map, using sniper rifles, are not expecting somebody to hit them with an Explosive Slug from a shotgun and do infinite range damage. It's completely fucking ridiculous. The only reasonable shotgun from, absolutely terrible to broken and broken, the only reasonable one is the Bryson 890. You get some extra and extra reload speed in a gun that consistently 2-hit kills. Can't use Explosive Slug. Can use Dragon's Breath. And even if it could use Explosive Slug too, because it doesn't aim down sight very fast. It's a little sluggish. It's not a very fast weapon. This gun's the only reasonable shotgun in the game. Which is why people only use one of two shotguns in the game. The fucking Benelli, or, which, I'm tired of calling the Brysons, the Model 870 Remington shotgun, okay? Then we get into the other problem with weapons. Most of these SMGs are fair. One, well actually except for three. This one will 3-hit kill you in most ranges. That's very consistent. That's better than any of the SMGs in the game. This AK will 3-hit kill you. The other AK will 3-hit kill you all the fucking time as well. You know, let's see, we have three AKs, 3 AK-47s will 3-hit kill you, and then then the SMG. It's just like telling players that they don't have to learn to play with a new weapon to get gold on 4 different. You can just use a slightly different version of the same fucking weapon. The MP5 is powerful as it's always been, and so has the MP7, but it's just, you know, they're really good guns with their, you know, distinctive nature. The Fennec as well is a really good gun with its distinctive nature. You know, they have their thing of, oh, you run out of ammo, or you can't do this, or you flinch a lot, blah 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 blah. The BS, you know, these are really great guns and they're very popular. People use them. They were done well, you know, but they're not overpowered. Then we get into these 3. This is just a fucking assault rifle with 50 rounds and extra mobility. Completely unfair. I got this so fast. I got this gold faster than it takes to get drunk drinking Everclear. Okay? It was just like 2-3 matches and I was done. It was gold. Stupidly overpowered. Like, the M4 is already the king of consistency at close range, and then this is the king of consistency at ranges beyond close range. People already have this gun as soon as the game starts, so people are already using it, they're already used to it. This is an overpowered extension of that same gun. And what's really worse is, because of how attachments work in this game, and I have a love-hate relationship with this, is if you unlock it on another gun and want to use it on a different version of gun, or another gun that could take the same attachment, so if I unlock a suppressor for the M4, and that same suppressor used on the MP7, the MP5, and the Hurricane, you still have it unlocked. So the moment you unlock the category for it, you have one of the best attachments in the game right there available. There's no grind, there's no learning the weapon, there's no getting used to the fill, it's just, you know, copy and paste, copy and paste. It was like that for the shotguns too, by the way. Somehow they went from the most broken and bullshit gun in the game. The only thing this has is slightly more recoil. You just, you know, do what every skilled player does and aim down, you know, while firing, and you're fine. Just fight the recoil a little bit. It's very easy to do, but you can also do that with attachments. They somehow went from that, this overpowered bullshit, to the I can't do anything. This gun has no velocity, it's got fucking no mobility compared to any of the other SMGs. It's, you know, a 4-hit kill, it's got a slow fire rate, it blows a lot of gas. Like, when you're firing this gun in game, you see a lot of gas firing it, so you are mandatory using a suppressor on it. You know, this thing's got next to no range. You know, it's all around a more inferior gun to every gun of its category, except that it has the most ammo. And the difference between 50 rounds of easily the best gun in the game, or one of the best guns, I should say, and 64 rounds is negligible. You won't notice a difference. Then we get into this guy and this guy here, and between the two, I can't tell the difference. These stained guns. This one does a little bit better at range. This one's a little bit better at close range. That's about it. These two are, they're exactly the same gun. They have the same magazine. Okay, if you get the PDW Gold, or excuse me, it's not the, whatever the fuck they're calling this, and you get the Colt Hurricane Gold. If you get one of the two gold, you can get the other one gold. It won't feel like you're playing with a different gun. You just do the same attachments on the one that you do on the other. That's it. The LMGs are all fine. Those are actually pretty fucking normal for once. The other thing I want to get into is battle rifle and sniper and let's see. Did I just? Yeah, I sure did. Marksman. It's so similar and so simple and so exactly the same that I just accidentally scrolled and skipped one over and over. These and these and these are not different. Maybe the sniper rifles are different from the other two, but these two categories are not different. This game, if you really stop and think about it, and this is getting to another point, but because these two categories aren't different, it's just them padding out the game with more content when it's not really more content, it's the same fucking gun. The M4, the M4, and this is not an M4, by the way. This is the Sig Sauer. I'm tired of people calling the Honey Badger, saying the Honey Badger and the M4 and the Sig and the M13 are all the same gun. So Honey Badger is an M4. It's not this. Okay. But M4, and Sig Sauer, by the way, was supposed to be the replacement for the M4. It was, for recon troops. So same characteristics as an M4. Let's see, it should be, unless I skipped it again. Yeah, I sure did. There's 3 fucking M4s in this game. And then there's even an M4 LMG. And then we go to the G36C and the G36H. And, G36C, G36H, MP5. It's the same class of family. It's the same fucking gun, just slightly different. And the HK21, it's still Heckler & Co., and then you got, let's see, where is the other one? I know there was another one. Yeah, then you got the Scar, and the same thing, Scar fucking tactical, I guess, Scar light, Scar heavy. We basically have 2 Scar heavies in the game. I can't tell the difference between the 2. And you guys might think I'm fucking tripping until I point this next one out. What is this gun? Oh, it's the Remington bolt action sniper rifle. Oh, hey. It's still used around by hunters and police and everybody else. Now what's this one? Oh, the same thing with a pistol grip. Not even separated by category, literally in the same category. And it's not done once that way. It's done twice that way. For the exact same guns, separated into 2 categories. And if you want to be really technical, and if you actually understand firearms, the only difference between this Remington and that Remington is that's bolt action, this is pump action. Don't mess with success, I guess, but at the same time too though, could we get some unique fucking guns instead of just, 4 different 15s? Excuse me, 6 different AR-15 variants. It's fine and it's cool and it's awesome if you have attachments and you have ways that you can make AR variants, like an mw2. You could easily make the M16 or any other version of, the Colt Commando out of the M4. You could do all these things. You can even do like the 9mm shit. This game, they literally separate in a different gun and give it different camo challenges to try to pad out the length, because they know they were lazy. And they did it several times to a ridiculous extent that really doesn't give me hope for the game. And here's the other thing, we get the RPK, but we can't get the RPD. I'm still confused on that, by the way, because even Treyarch understood that the Russians went from the RPD, went from the RPK to the RPD, because they found that having a slightly bigger AK was not really beneficial in any way. The RPDs is definitely the most successful gun that failed, because what ended up happening is Green Berets would steal RPKs, chop them down, or steal RPDs, chop them down, and turn them into backpack guns for shits and giggles, which really pissed off the Russians, by the way. The RPK, the Russians temporarily came back to the RPK because they didn't like that the RPD didn't have some of the things that the RPK did better. They only did that for 5-6 months, and then they came out with a much better machine gun, one that's used to this day, that is used by Switzerland and Finland and several other countries. It is a really good one, and it is not the same as the RPK or the RPD, despite having a very similar looking furniture and profile to it. It just looks similar, not the same. And we even had that LMG in MWR, and then we still come back to this. Why? For what reason? And how the f are you gonna have two? You're gonna have the MW saw, and then you're gonna have, the M4 version of an LMG, something that's, being done recently and lately, but was actually done in the early 90s that failed. By the way, they found that it just wasn't good as an LMG, because when you remove the top recess of the M4 and replace it with a belt feeding mechanism, sand, dust, and dirt get into it, and it just shits the bed every fucking time. That was something that was done, and they gave up on it very fast. They tried to modify it so it was like, still mag feeding, and that didn't work, and there was all those problems. But we get that gun from the 90s, and then we get, its replacement. But if you're gonna sit there and have the RPK for no reason, when even Treyarch was smart enough to put the RPD in their game, why wouldn't you have the Stoner? Why this gun instead of the Stoner? Is the Stoner coming out sometime soon or something? Is that what you're trying to tell us? That you just kind of dangling in front of our heads? I don't know if you guys didn't know this or not, but in firearms history, Browning took on students, John Moses Browning, which, by the way, in case you were wondering, 50 BMG, Browning machine gun, also stands for Browning Moses gun. Yeah, he taught Eugene Stoner how to make firearms. Eugene Stoner was his apprentice before Moses, John Moses Brown died. Eugene Stoner made the AR-15, the AR-14, basically he's the father of the M4 and everything. Yeah, you notice that the Stoner LMG is called the Stoner, yeah, because Stoner made that too. So having the 5.56 Icarus is kind of like just having another Stoner. It doesn't make any fucking sense. And then here's the other problem is we get a nerf on the Lockwood. Full on nerf. It makes it unusable. It takes it to a point where nobody really bothers with this gun. What really bothers me about that is then we turn around and have the fucking SPR twice in the same category in two different categories, and nobody thinks maybe, just maybe, it might be a little overpowered, and that people will abuse the fact that it's literally the same SPR they ever use. It takes no skill to learn how to use this. Every time I even pick up one of these off the ground, because here's the thing, I refuse to play with the SPR. Okay, this low, just from picking up off the ground off of players I've killed, I feel like a sweaty tryhard. I feel like, just sweat is dripping pores. Because it's the same sweaty bullshit that took me, 5 hours on Damascus. Yeah, you heard me right. I spent 5 hours and I got Damascus on the SBR and MWR. And then I turn around and anytime I pulled up their fucking SPR, I pull out mine and give them a middle finger. There is at least, in every match, 4 to 6 players running around with a fucking SPR. Maybe you'll run into 1 or 2 people using a shotgun, because people haven't really caught on to how overpowered explosive rounds are yet. And then everybody else is running around with AKs. Unless there's that one person who's actually trying to do camo in the game, and I'm sure there is. I'm actually one of those people. I really enjoy unlocking gold on things. I don't know why. Maybe it's some kind of compulsive disorder. Which actually brings me to one of the things I hate. It doesn't feel like an achievement to unlock gold, because you literally get 4 camos that you can use on any of your guns, and then you turn around and get gold. And what does it take to get gold? Oh, you get 3 kills with this weapon without dying. That's it. To do platinum, you have to do a challenge, at least, but overall you're doing 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7 challenges or excuse me, 8 challenges to get, well, and actually this one doesn't even count, because usually this challenge is get kills with a gun. You have to do 8 challenges to unlock the main camo of the game, the thing that is supposed to be Damascus, the thing that is supposed to say, I am a better player than you in every regard. You don't have to do anything fucking else. If I were on MWR, all these camos I just scrolled through to get Damascus, you would have to do. Okay, 8 camos versus 30, 40, 50 camos. it's ridiculous. It takes the fun out of getting the camo challenge done. I literally only play this game and even to do the camo challenges, and half the time I just find myself going, fuck this. The other problem is the Joker is still as terrible as it was in MWR after all the nerfs. It has the same problems it did, but now, if you have something slightly in front of you, it doesn't matter that your character is looking over. If it's like a crate at your feet, if you put an ammo box down, you will blow yourself up. It doesn't matter that's not blocking your way. It doesn't make any sense, but that's just how this game works. 2 have rocket launchers, RPG's the same, as expected, nothing different. People abuse them every once in a while, whatever. But everything in the pistol category, every single one of these pistols is not fucking okay. It's not right. 2-hit kill close range. A 3rd hit if you're at a very long range, or a 2-hit if you mix in 1 body shot. This pistol is a sniper rifle in disguise. It is a fucking M14 in the palm of your hand. Deagle's always a 2-hit kill, has massive recoil. This is actually probably the most fair pistol in the game. And it's also unfair. This gun, basically just Glock, consistent 2 hits if you get a body shot mixed in. Dual wield is stupidly overpowered on this gun. High capacity, it's absolutely ridiculous. It's completely fucking broken. You put on dual wield, that's it, you're done. This one is a 1-hit kill to the upper body at most ranges. And when I say most ranges, I mean put a sniper scope on this guy and snipe people with it. And the other thing that I have a problem with is there's only a couple correct barrels. Any of the snub barrels are completely unusable. This is basically like turning this gun into a knife. You can't use it. So you could make a challenge weapon out of it, I guess, but the 3 barrels on it are, super stupidly overpowered and completely break the game. And not only is it a 1-hit kill, but when you dual wield it, it continues to be a 1-hit kill. So if you're hip firing this gun, you maybe have a 75% chance, because about 75% of your opponent's body that you land a shot on, you can get a 1-hit kill off of. And you dual wield this, well, now it's like 80 or 90% of the time you're going to get that 1-hit kill. This is the first gun I got gold. Actually, no, this one's the second, because I got the Expedite gold first. This is the second one I got gold, and it is hands down, without any question, the best gun in the game. It's better than any sniper rifle. It scares the shit out of people, and better than any LMG. You will hold your position better than any shotgun. And it's better than any pistol in absolutely any regard. And it's actually reasonable to try to shoot down a kill streak with this pistol. The only thing keeping it back is it only has a 5-round cylinder, and it only has 25 rounds overall. So you have to use scavenger or ammo box, which most people are going to do. But here's the other thing, is most people are going to be running around with this gun. Then the other thing I didn't mention is Oh yeah, you can use snake shot on it. You'll greatly reduce your range to the point where, 3-4 meters is where you can get the one hit kill now. This dual wield a snake shot and they're in your range, you're pretty much guaranteed to win that gunfight, like 100% of the time. Unless you're really, really bad. If you can hit your shot, your first shot, your opponent will lose every fucking time. It's not a question. That is a fact. This gun's also overpowered. If you are thinking of using overkill to use SMG rifle, don't bother. Just use this gun instead. In fact, you can turn it into a mini version of the MP7 and use it just like the MP7. It kills in the same amount of time as the MP7. And that looks a little something like this. That's it. Don't use the SMG for a secondary. Just use this gun instead. You can dual wield it, and you can even put 50 rounds on it. So, depending on how you build this can feel like a slightly slower P90. And it doesn't cost a perk. You just use it like a fucking submachine gun. These two guns strongly need a nerf. This one needs like massive recoil added. I don't know why this gun has more recoil than this one. This is 50 Action Express. This one is 500 Magnum. It doesn't even make any sense that this has less recoil than this guy. And on top of it, it actually breaks the game. That's just the problems with those. Yes, there is a problem with tacticals. There's two distinct problems with tacticals. Actually, well, no, there's four, but this, nobody's going to ever use this. This is as niche as it ever was. Spotter scope is as niche as it ever was. Nobody's going to use this. Nobody cares. Decoy grenades have, they are what they always have been. They're actually kind of funny. They are surprising. Stun grenades are a little annoying, but they're fine. In fact, they're almost actually unusable because they're not that good, but people are not to use them. I don't know why. Especially when there are much better tacticals to use. Smoke grenade is actually a better tactical than stun grenades and can actually stun people if you hit them close enough with it. And is, surprisingly versatile. This is one of the few Call of Duties where a smoke grenade is better than a stun. The only other example I can think of is Black Ops 1. Stuns were overpowered in that game and, could get you a faster time to kill in Black Ops 1 than they could, in any other game. But smoke grenades, in my opinion, were still better. You even have Nova gas, which worked like a smoke, also killed people. Shock sticks. This is one of the things that breaks the game. This punishes you. That's it. There's no context. This just punishes you. This punishes you for playing the game, period. If you're using one of these, you're a piece of shit. Because how this works is you throw it down in a spot, and it creates a surge charge of electricity in that spot, which, by the way, that's not how electricity works. You just don't have a circle of radiance, but regardless, it creates that. And if a person walks into it, they fire all their ammo. Now, they can still aim, but they can't reload, they can't use attack. There's no perk that negates it. There's no defense against it. They just start firing all their ammo, and their ammo is gone. This right here cannot be used offensively. This can only be used to camp. Because you throw it down, you throw it at somebody, you wait for them to run out of ammo, and then you come over, kill them, and go back to your spot. That is, or you are already camping, and they surprise you, you panic throw this, and you crouch, or, go prone, and they can't hit you, and you kill them. There is no version, no scenario where you would use this offensively. This encourages you to be a bad player, to develop bad habits, and continue to camp. The thing that most people are annoyed with in the COD community. This is a problem, and this needs to stop. It's, whatever. The shock stick in this game is done extremely poorly. It is the most fucking annoying thing, and I hope don't know how annoying this is, because they'll start using it and this game will just be unplayable. Shock sticks in Black Ops worked very differently. Shock sticks in Black Ops 2 worked just like a stun grenade, and there was a way that you could actually have 2 stun grenades and 2 shock sticks. Now in Black Ops 2, on a surface, and if somebody ran past them, it would stun them. That was actually a really good thing, because if you knew somebody was running towards an objective, they were running towards B, you could throw a shock stick out to where they'd be running past, not have to worry about them or something, and it would slow them down, and you could capture B before they could get there. Of shock sticks could be used offensively or defensively. There was no version where it just like you couldn't use it offensively. The original shock stick was not a camper's tool. The flashbang. The flashbang is useless, and that's it. There's no games, there's no gimmicks. It blinds you for half a second. It's not a 9-bang, so you can't charge it up or anything. It's straight up useless. You can't really use it. It's not very good. If you're using this, you should probably use something a little bit better. You probably have something better unlocked, I would hope. Don't even waste this time. It's not going to save you. By the time you use it and blind me, I'm still shooting you. There's no incident that I've ran into where I've been blinded by a flashbang and have died or lost because of flashbang, because it's not a thing that happens. And if I just happen to be using Battle Hardened to deal with, something more annoying, which is, the explosion or the tear gas, then your flashbang's completely even more useless. It's just, there's no reason to use the flashbang. There's nothing it does better than anything else. I can just, something about the way this game is and the way this flashbang works. If I'm shooting my gun and you flashbang me, I don't stop shooting. I can keep shooting. I'm fine. There's no increased recoil or something. There's no flinch. Like if this added flinch or if this added recoil, like the stun grenade does, maybe it would have some use. The tear gas is another camper tool. This is, I'm panicking because somebody is shooting me. This is the same thing as the shock stick, except the difference is it does the opposite of what the shock stick does. It makes people stop shooting. It makes people stop reloading. It makes people stop using their tactical equipment. It makes people stop using their lethal equipment. It makes people stop aiming down sights. It makes people fucking stop running. It makes, this is overpowered and this one is bullshit, whereas the shock stick is annoying to deal with because of camper. This one is annoying to deal with because this is easily the most powerful tactical in the game. This one fucking I don't get it, because people have been complaining about gas grenades since World War II. And it's just like Infinity War, Sledgehammer, just can't give it up, just can't understand it. We hate it. The best gas grenade ever was in Black Ops 1, because you threw it out there, it worked kind of like the smoke, so people could faintly see you through it, and if they run into it, you know, they would take a little bit of damage. Their running wouldn't stop, but their running would slow down, and you know, they could still reload their weapon, they could still do, you know, they could still fire, they could still fight back. But, you know, with the Nova gas grenade in Black Ops 1, the thing that was unique about it was the only tactical that you could use to actually kill somebody. It was actually an anti-camper tool, because you could throw it in, and if they didn't move, if they refused to move, it would kill them. This version is the perfect camping tool. This is if you want to camp, you use this. This is even better than the shock stick in that regard, but this is also a weapon of, you know, if you don't want your opponent to be able to fight back or reload or recover or do anything at all, you can stop them for the entire duration with the tiered gas, which is completely bullshit. Snapshot grenade is useless, but it's funny. You know, I like to use it. Somebody's camping and I throw it out there, it might scare them and they skull around like a cockroach. Thermite's normal, throwing ice normal, Claymor's normal, C4 is normal, Semtex is normal, Molotov cocktail is normal. Drill charge, I'm not even going to talk about in this video because it's one of the best things they've ever added to a Call of Duty. It's an anti-camper tool. Bouncing Betty is normal. It does the same thing as stun. It can be used offensively, defensively. It's usually used defensively. There's no problems with it. Frag grenade is the same thing as it ever was. There's, you know, no problems with that either. Now we get into the perk system, and the first thing you'll notice is there's 4 perks. So, you know, you get your 4 perks. You can only have 2 at the very beginning of the match. The first 2 that you pick is the first 2 that you'll have, which is a problem. It's a very bad problem. Disadvantage to using overkill, because you can still use one of these perks. So if you decide to use overkill is actually broken because of this. But, you know, like I said, revolver, you actually don't really need overkill because of some of the pistols in this game. You know, one thing is so broken that it makes another thing broken seem less broken. Extra tactical is, you know, especially frustrating if they're using shock charges or gas grenades. Strong arm is, well, there's no reason to use it. Because if you use Bomb Squad, you'll still reset the timer. Yeah, sure, you can throw things farther, but you can also arc them and get the same result. There's no point using strong arm. Strong arm needs some kind of a buff. Like maybe if you did one hit kill with like the right shield if you're using strong arm or something. I hope you're not using strong arm. I don't know if people are using strong arm. I hope you're not, because it's bad. It's bad because it does nothing that'll improve the way you play. Tracker is, you know, still noob friendly. It's not that serious. It's whatever. You know, it's not as bad as 6th Sense in Black Ops 3 was. Or, you know, Paranoia games, which, by the way, that is back. But there is ways to defeat that. This is you know, same thing. So, you get those two things going. Okay, whatever. Overkill is broken because of it. This one you will unlock in like 2 to 4 minutes, depending on your score. In 2 minutes, the match might already be over before you even have this. This one will unlock 3 to 6 minutes, depending on, you know, score factors, whether or not you're playing the objective. You spawn into a match late, and you get punished for it. It doesn't have to be your fault. You just immediately get punished for joining a match late. Yeah, nobody likes this perk system. It's not tangible and it's not fair, because if you get shit on by somebody, you're just going to keep getting shit on by somebody. They're going to keep the advantage. By the time, if you get, you know, if you're starting to lose badly, by the time you get all your perks, they already have kill streak. This is not new player friendly, and it's also not good player friendly. It's not friendly for anybody. It is it's not very balanced, because you could just get shit on. You just get a bad spawn and you're immediately, you know, if you got a bad spawn in any other Call of Duty game, you'd be at kind of a disadvantage, but you could get over it. You get a bad spawn in this game and you're done. Game over. Give up the match. Just fucking leave. That's all you can do. There's actually a lot of people who leave matches just because this perk system is so. And of course, you know, as I mentioned, Paranoia is back. I'm sure you saw it there. This one is just, you know, there's 3 complaints here. One, there's no dead silence, you know, which was a very good but used in actually great perk, but you had to sacrifice a trophy system or an ammo box or, you know, a couple of different things for it. You know, that's my first complaint. 2, my other complaint is some of these are just, there's no reason to use them. Anti-armor, there's no reason to use that. It doesn't do anything that is, I don't know, significant. It's kind of there, whatever. Just use an ammo box, you moron. Especially when this is slow charging, the ammo box charges, you know, a lot faster. No reason to use DDoS. You know, it's kind of like score streak system. If you die, your score streaks won't start over. So you can continue. Maybe a skilled player can use it, but nobody. Loadout drop. Why would I change my class when I'm still doing well? This is basically one man army, except there's no noob tubes to abuse. So, you know, one man army that nobody uses. Munitions box is better. It just, there's like battle rage, which nobody uses. There's no reason to use it. What's the difference between these two? I don't know. Just use one or the other. What's the difference? You know, who uses tactical insertion? Nobody, because it doesn't do anything worthwhile, because it suck. And even if you put this here, you actually somehow manage to make a way your spawn sucks more. Inflatable decoy is the only new thing that's usable. And then the other thing, and this is the other one, my point is there's absolutely no reason whatsoever to use 2 score streaks on this game. There's no circumstance that comes up where I would want to use 2 score streaks. It's basically just use the one score streak so you have the one timer to worry about. Because if you use two things that, you know, are ready at different times, and every single one of these is ready at a different time, you're getting punished. You're punishing yourself. It's stupid. Don't. It would be different if I used like the trophy system in the munitions box or something, or like, you know, the in the munitions box. Like if they had the exact same time to, you know, be used, then I would maybe consider that decision. But it takes longer for the loadout drop to spawn in the munitions box. So, you know, or same thing with anti-armor and the smoke suppression mine. You're going to get smoke suppression mine sooner than the anti-armor rounds. There's no reason. It doesn't make any sense to use both. Just use one or the other. That's why I have Field Upgrade 2 disabled. It would be different if I could, you know, get the one before, but if I decided I didn't want that one, I could wait a little bit longer and then use the other one. Then maybe it would be a tough decision. But there's no decision making, just use. So that's poorly implemented. There's so much wrong with this game too that it just you know, an hour and a half. Jeez. I feel like I'm ranting about Vanguard because this is bad, which I want to mention too, by the way. If you want to play Vanguard and actually experience it at a good point, now would be the time to do so, because Vanguard's actually fun to play now because it fixed its problems. The same thing with World War II, where it's just like too little too late. But let's see. This is the other thing I want to get into is this menu right here sucks, by the way. You have to pick up your game mode up front, so it's a pain in the ass to change game modes. But ignoring that, well, actually not ignoring it, they should have put private match data on the disc so the loading didn't take as long, but they didn't. But let me count how many maps we have. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 10, 11, 12, 13. Out of the 13 maps that we have, 3 of them are DLC, were just recently added. This game only had 10 maps. And this map is not very memorable. This is just like fucking Crash or Havoc or any of the other maps that are just like it. There's nothing good about it. It's a terrible map. This map is a little too big, and also a little too cluttered, so it's not even good for sniper rifles. It's okay, I guess. It's just like any other London map we've ever had, except it's an indoor London map instead of an outdoor one. One of the few good new maps. This is actually has a nice flow to it, so I won't talk about that one too much. This is a 3-lane funnel. I absolutely fucking hate this map. This is another 3-lane funnel. What is the difference between these two? I can't tell you. These are both bad. These are both not worthwhile maps. They're both 3-lane funnels, and I hate them. This one has, you know, this is a map that was in Call of Duty Ghost, which should already tell you all you need to know about it. But this is another, you know, this is a 2-lane funnel, 2 funnels on the side. There is a cluttered area for shotguns. So this is also a really annoying map. This map wants to be a Valhalla, but this map is nowhere near as good as Valhalla. just give us Valhalla. Please, just give us Valhalla. This map sucks. I hate this map. Because all it does, the only thing it can do, is reminding me of how much better Valhalla is. This was like supposed to be, I guess, their version of Airport. I just hope we get Airport, because Airport is really fun. This map is okay, I guess, if you're trying to get your RPG fucking done. You can spawn in and spam one rocket and kill everybody. This map sucks. That's just, you know, it sucks, but it has some. It's meant for camo challenge. It's meant for your sniper rifle. It's meant for your, you know, you climb on top of a vehicle and snipe people. You spam your rocket and upgrade your rocket. That's all this map is for. 2 forms of shipment that were available at the exact same time in the regular playlist. But I will say this is actually one of the best versions of shipment we will ever get. Because it is literally the original Infinity Ward. This is the Respawn Entertainment's version of shipment. Both of them. And they're both really good. And this one's a little dark and gloomy, and you can hide in a corner. And this one's brightly lit, so you get the best of both worlds. And this one, on top of that, and on top of being one of the best maps ever, this is, you know, super, like, I fucking love it. You know, it has really good spawns for shipment and everything. You see the containers are stacked high like that. Well, you can't really, you have to aim a grenade. These containers actually protect certain spawns from grenade spam. So this is actually one of the most fair versions of ship. Why do I bring that up? Is it proves that Infinity Ward, the current one, can learn from the previous one, create a map that is not only as good as the original, but better, but they won't because they're fucking lazy. Hopefully they continue to do this type of thing. This was really good. Rust was really good. I wish they would do more of this. Shoot House. It's just copy and paste. If you liked Shoot House, you'll like it, but it's just lazy. They didn't do anything new with it. It's the same thing as it ever was. It's not a new experience. Okay, fine, whatever, I guess. It's their version of shipment. Is that what that is? Is that why? Whatever. This map is like Crash in a bad way. This is like, you know, if you liked Crash, this is only going to remind you of what you liked about Crash. This feels like a mismatch of other much better maps. This feels like a mismatch of Crash and Condor and Al Qaeda and one of the other maps. This just feels stupid. It doesn't feel like it has its own unique personality. It just feels like they mishmashed 5 or 6 maps into something that sucks a fucking fat dick. And then we have this guy. The moment somebody gets in the water, it completely ruins the flow of the map. And then the flow of the map already is not very good. The only thing remarkable about this map is that it has water that you can dive in. There are other water maps in Call of Duty history that have done water better than this map does. This is a bad map. It's just not a good one. It's not exciting. It's probably this is the worst insult I could ever give anything a game developer does. But you take away the water, or even with the water, this map is boring. It doesn't have a redeemable quality about it that's worth saving or tweaking. They just added water to hide the fact that this map was boring. That's it. That's all there is to it. Like, if you remove this from the game, nobody would notice. And I would hope they wouldn't notice. There's nothing good about it. So, that is most of the problems with this game. The last thing is there's connectivity issues, there's, there's too much flinch sometimes, there's glitches or lag. That's about it. The spawns are bad sometimes. Just minor normal things that most games have problems with. The glitch, the lag can actually probably due to all the other problems causing people to rage quit, or also the fact that most people have already stopped playing this game. People playing Vanguard than there are people playing this game. The sad thing is because of this game, there's not enough people playing Black Ops Cold War to play Black Ops Cold War. Which is sad because, quite simply, Black Ops Cold War is a better game. There's more people playing Cold War and Vanguard and the original MW2, but, this takes away just enough of the new players away from those games that those are less playable, and this game is not even worth it. Here's the other thing I actually just remembered. All this Spec Ops shit, all this gun games not even worth your time. Raids, this isn't Destiny 2. I would rather just go play Destiny 2 than play a raid on here. Especially with the community and everything. Fuck no. High ground and denied area are crap. File sucks. Defender is bad. Just the Spec Ops mode is not worth playing. It's a third game mode that is not even worth your time. It's a far cry from Black Ops 2, or excuse me, it's a far cry from Black Ops 1, or from, not Black Ops 1, excuse me, from Modern Warfare 1, Modern Warfare Remaster. It's a far cry from fucking Modern Warfare 2, it's a far cry from Modern Warfare 3. It's just, it's there, I guess. There's no reason to play. You could probably waste your time on better things. The only thing good this game has is the campaign. The campaign is so excellent that it just makes me wonder if they spent all their time on that, and then they did this other shit half-assed as a side note, which they shouldn't have done. Because there's better Call of Duties where they can do all three. And then, too, they should actually probably talk about the score streaks. It's just, nothing new or special or different than MW2. My main complaint with the kill streaks is that there's nothing to talk about. It's all the same things as it always was. There's all the same problems or lack of problems. So, the kill streaks aren't even exciting. That's because of the perk system being so crap. The UAV is basically like having a nuke. So that's it. I mean, I guess I could complain about the fucking. Let's see. Which one was it? I can't even tell you which one it was because there's one of them where you just die with no chance to fight back. It was like bombs coming down or something in planes. But these, it doesn't really stick in my mind because it's a kill streak. Kill streaks are supposed to feel unfair, and they don't even do that very well, to be honest. So that's it. I mean, if it's to the point where if you removed kill streaks from the game, you probably wouldn't notice. So, yeah. This is a game that has either everything mediocre or that has everything terrible. And they could have just copy and pasted MWR and added more to it, and I would have been much happier with that than this. So